Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. In this one I thought I would do a little study of sorts, and I am working on some fire or a match. Like I wanted to do a match study, and then in another video at some other point in time I was going to do another fire study. And I partially switched over to the study aspect of things right now because I am working on a mermaid piece in watercolor and I'm extremely frustrated with it. So I decided I need to take a break and just kind of work on something in a smaller form. And I chose fire because I really want to add like a glowing effect in some of my pieces, and I just really need to kind of figure out how flames work and the glow effect and just all of that kind of situation. So I figured I would do a little fire study. So for this one I am using my Derwent Drawing pencils and a couple of my Polychromos, mostly yellow, orange, red, purple, and black, and then a couple colors of the Derwent Drawing pencils, mostly Ruby Earth, Ivory Black, Derwent Drawing Chinese White, and the Mars Orange, and then some kind of like creamy yellowy color, and then a chocolate brown. So you could definitely do this with just a few pencils. I am also working in my toned gray Strathmore 400 series sketchbook, and I really wanted to use the toned gray paper with this because I would have the option, you know, like when you're working on toned paper, you can really practice working on your highlights and working with white colored pencils and things like that. So I figured we would just kind of draw some fire here and talk about art frustration and how I deal with it, and then I kind of wanted to know what you guys do when you are really frustrated with your art and just can't seem to, I mean, this is the second piece that I'm doing, and I'm just like, I'm so extremely frustrated with it, and this piece would have turned out great except for I make a mistake down here, and I didn't wait for something to dry, and I will show you that. And long story short is I'm extremely frustrated with what I'm working on and all of the things that I'm working on at this point. So I figured I would just kind of take a step back and do something smaller so I could refocus. I'm not like officially stressed out. I'm just really frustrated with the fact that I can't seem to get the projects to do what I want them to do. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to kind of pull what's in your head and put it on paper, but for some reason lately it just is for me, and I think a lot of it has to do with me. I am really trying to study composition and color theory, and it seems like the more I study it, the more confused I get. I seem like I was doing better before I even started applying these practices. So I don't know. At this point I'm just extremely frustrated, so I figured I would do a small piece so I could get the satisfaction of having something completed, and it's small so it wouldn't take that long, and just that's where I'm at. And then I go ahead and ruin this one because I'm super awesome and I'm impatient and I can't wait for the titanium white and touch-up texture from brush and pencil to dry for a full 20 minutes because I want to keep going and I just want to get it done, and I want that satisfaction. So in that process, you'll see that disaster here in a few minutes, and it's just extremely frustrating, and I'm like, I don't really understand why I can't seem to get myself to focus. Like, and I'm not like frustrated with art in general, like I'm just frustrated with myself. Like it's really weird and hard to explain. Like I don't want to stop doing art. I don't feel like I need to take a break. I just feel like I need to I actually feel like I'm at that point of complete frustration to where I'm like this close to getting a breakthrough, if that makes any sense. Like if you feel like you've ever been there to where you just get so frustrated with something and you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and all of a sudden it like clicks, and it's just like I feel like I'm almost to the clicking point of my frustration, if that makes any sense to you guys at all. So what I've done so far is I basically filled in my background. I did use a reference photo. I got this reference photo from pixabay.com. I will leave a link to that and all the supplies that I'm using in the video description. And now what I've done, and every time you see a paintbrush on this piece, I'm just using paint thinner to blend out. So I'm basically working like how I do with normal colored pencil, except I wanted to really play with my Derwent Drawing pencils again, and because they were just so creamy and they just show up on this paper so nice, and it was a small piece, then I had enough colors, and I was just super excited about it. And then I go ahead and I ruin it. It doesn't officially feel like it's like destroyed, and I don't hate this piece. It's definitely not the worst thing that I've done, and I definitely learned a lot on how to go about trying to recreate fire in my next piece. So it's not like I hate this piece at all. I mean, like, I learned a lot from it. So despite the fact that I am frustrated towards the end of it, I do feel like I got a lot out of it, which is, you know, it's pretty impressive, because I mean, it's like a 4-inch diameter circle, and I feel like I've gained a lot of knowledge out of the things that I had put in that little 4-inch diameter circle. And yeah, so anyway, I'm working with that reference photo, and I'm just going and I'm trying to, what I'm really frustrated with right now at this point is that I can't get the white back. I can't get the yellow bright enough to match what the reference photo does. So I decide, okay, well, I'm gonna blend this out, and then I go in and I get my my touch-up texture and my titanium white from brushandpencil.com, and I'll show you guys that in a second. And I will also have a link to the website where you can get that. It is archival, and it's a really great product. I don't want you guys to think that there's anything wrong with this product. I wasn't patient enough to let it dry. And so here it is. I'm going to show you that right there. And then I'm going to mix it, and then I'm going to make a complete mess here. And normally you're able to just go ahead and color right on top of this, but I was super impatient and I decided to not wait for it to dry. I was really into the audiobook that I was reading in the moment, and I didn't want to stop. So, you know, I touched it and it felt dry, and I was like, well, I'm just going to keep going. And so what I plan to do now is to work through this frustration with everything that's going on, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep working in my sketchbook before I go back to the mermaid piece that I'm working on in watercolor, because I feel like I really need to regroup before I revisit that piece. So I started sketching out another thing to kind of work on. I figured I would try to ink that, maybe play with some markers, and just kind of get my groove back, if that makes any sense to you guys at all. Yeah, and I mean, I really liked how this turned out, and honestly, if I would have waited for this to dry, it would have turned out exactly the way I had planned. So that's on me. What can you do? So definitely learn to slow down, and I think that's the problem with my mermaid piece too. I feel like I'm trying to go too fast, even though I don't have a deadline. Like, it's just like you're really excited to do it, so you think that you're gonna go really fast, and you have a plan, and then it never comes out the way that you expect it to. When I'm experimenting anyway. And see here, what's going on here is you can see that titanium white and touch-up texture just kind of flaking off, and that is because I definitely did not wait long enough for that to dry before I went on top of that. Thankfully, I think I was able to kind of save it a little bit, and it's just in my sketchbook, so it's not like I wasted a ridiculously priced piece of paper, and it's just kind of there in my sketchbook, and it's a lesson learned kind of thing. And yeah, so that's what I plan to do to get through my art frustration at this moment, is just to keep sketching and keep practicing until I feel comfortable enough to go back to the mermaid piece that I'm working on, and then continue on with the next project. And it's actually really funny because it's so weird because I'm like so inspired to do so much stuff, and I have so many ideas, and I'm just like, I feel like maybe that's what's going on. Maybe I'm just kind of trying to knock them all out really fast, and that's definitely not what I needed to do. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and apparently write fire above the circle because you obviously cannot tell that's what it is. But I would love to know what you guys do when you are frustrated with your art. Go ahead and leave it for me in the comment section below. I really like interacting with you guys in the comment section. It's been a lot of fun as of lately. If you like this video, make sure you go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe so you guys don't miss anything. I upload new videos every weekend, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.